Welcome to the Electric Playground. We are here in Stockholm, Sweden, and we are going to be taking a look at Star Fox doing a barrel roll in the rundown.
Plus, we've got a new look at Battleborn with the game's creative director.
And then Stephen Raju returned to the tower to review Destiny, the Taken King.
Vengeance for Crota.
Also coming up, we check out the Melissa McCarthy movie Spy on Blu-ray, have more espionage with Republic on the PS4, and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. Barrel rolls aren't actually as effective at evading enemy missiles as you might think, but something that always works, the rundown. The makers of the hit game Rocket League aren't letting up on the gas. Speaking with MCV, developer Psyonix revealed that they've had discussions with different Hollywood studios about making movies or a TV show based on the game. They also say that they've been approached about potential toy deals, but they haven't signed anything yet, so the future remains open. This follows the surprise success of the game, which has been downloaded more than 5 million times since launching on the PC and PS4 in July. The studio has also hinted that they plan to port the game over to other platforms like the Wii U and Xbox One, and new DLC is expected in the coming months. We're all going to have to wait a while longer to play Star Fox Zero. Last week, Nintendo unexpectedly delayed the new aerial combat game, pushing it from its planned November launch to early 2016. Star Fox creator Shigeru Miyamoto, recently promoted to creative fellow at Nintendo, says they need more time to make the game as good as fans are expecting. This leaves the Wii U with one less big exclusive this holiday season, and the odd thing is that the original release date was only announced a few weeks ago. We'll keep you up to date with the latest on Star Fox Zero as new details come in. Here to help me cut through the rundown stories is my pal, Marissa Roberto. Yes, Bushido Blade, Marissa Roberto. Okay, what do you think of Star Fox Zero being delayed, my friend? Does this smell fishy to you?
Look, I played a demo at E3 and I did not enjoy myself. There might be some problems there with the whole gamepad mechanic and the game itself. That's just my
that's what Miyamoto
opinion on it.
Yeah, Miyamoto is saying that they want it to be as smooth as possible. The integration of looking up at one screen and down at another.
It was very difficult to understand
and
control.
It's new, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be my only reasoning why it was delayed. They want to make it right, and I'm okay with that, honestly. If they're going to take the time, and I just don't like the fact that they promise people one thing, and they take that date away, especially for Star Fox fiends out there that want that game right now.
Yeah, and they didn't announce the November launch date that long ago, which is very strange. So it feels like, wait, didn't you guys know what was up with the game, and why are you kind of veering off course here at the 11th hour? But I don't think it's that long to wait, which is the good news, you know. And I think that when Nintendo delays something, it's usually with gamers' best interests at heart. Everybody's skeptical, Nintendo.
We'll see.
You got to prove it to us. All right, now something that really came out of nowhere and surprised everybody is this Rocket League game.
I got to see this thing at the PlayStation Experience
last year,
which was last year. I knew it was going to be a great pick up and play kind of game. I just didn't realize how much it would actually catch on.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that it did. I'm not sure about this whole TV show thing, and I'm like, what is this?
Well, there's a lot of love.
Fault them for it.
There's a lot of love for this franchise, and you know, it's their moment. And I think they've got you know, big plans to bring it to other platforms. There's probably sequels already underway. The DLC is coming.
They might be able to make a decent show out of this.
Yeah.
Like a whole backstory to the people that drive the cars in the league. I get it.
Well,
okay, I'd watch it.
Like a dramatic thing?
No, it would be like a cartoony, like animated.
Why don't they make an actual reality-based physics soccer with a giant ball sports thing?
Wow, okay, now we're going somewhere.
And buggies, you know, that can flip and fly a little bit. I mean, you could actually physically make this game in real life, I think.
Okay.
Maybe not with rockets, but you could still do some pretty fun stuff inside of a big arena.
Part of an amusement park ride.
That
and
could
that's
be
how
wild
you play
too.
Like a whole bumper car situation, but you know, with rocket cars and big old balls.
I think big old balls.
We've got to pump the brakes here on this discussion.
Yes, we do. We've got to find out more about Battleborn. Here's Jose.
Solus will fall, and there is nothing you can do to stop it.
Well, as you can tell from the giant statue behind me, we are talking about Battleborn. Now, unfortunately, the collector's edition of the game does not come with this giant statue, but it does come with a whole lot of fun. Tell me about Battleborn.
Sure. Battleborn is a first-person shooter game with a wide roster of characters. We've announced that we're going to release with 25 playable characters and literally all stripes. I mean, it plays as a first-person shooter, but that word really kind of falls short because we've got guys with swords, we've got guys with axes, we've got bows, we've got magic. I mean, we've got almost everything that you could dream of in this game, a lot of different ways to play.
That's a lot of characters to have. How different and unique are these characters going to be from each other?
We hope they're quite different. I mean, you know, we start with one that's like a modern soldier, Oscar Mike, but you can see the ones behind me. I mean, you get Montana, the massive guy with the minigun. You've kind of seen that before, but then we cut right to like Thorn with this bow. We even got a four-armed Chaos Witch. A Rindy who shoots these shadow bolts and these big shadow pillars. You know, we go from there to a dwarf with a shield boulder. We've got a gentleman robot snipers and Victorian dressed ladies with floating swords, and we've even got a fighting mushroom. You know, Miko is our kind of support healer who throws out kunai and then has big healing abilities and all of that. But honestly, we think of every character as almost the character of its own game and put a lot of love and effort in making sure that they're awesome experiences for our fans.
How difficult is it to balance all these characters to make sure that one can fight against the other and no one's overpowering anyone?
Oh, it's super easy. You know, we just push the balance button and it just happens. So we are wondrously afraid of the effort of balancing this game, but we've been working at it for a few years now. We think we've got a decent handle, but we know that when we go out, we're going to need to listen to our community a lot. And so we're really excited to get it into people's hands, so to hear the feedback and to be sure that we can tune in and get the experience really good. We support both cooperative play. We have a story missions and story modes. You can play single player by yourself, up to 5-player co-op through the story of the universe, or you can play competitive multiplayer. We have 3 competitive multiplayer modes where all these characters can fight each other, so that's where balance becomes a really big thing for us. So we're really paying attention and hoping we can work with the community to make a really great balanced competitive experience.
So many different characters. Are they all going to have their own sort of unique stories, or is this going to be going along the same story path?
Yeah, well, I mean, really the story of the launch game is the story of how these characters have kind of come together to save the universe. You know, you talk the broader story of Battleborn, we live in this way future sci-fi universe in which there's only one star left in the entire universe. The other stars have kind of been eaten and darkened by this evil invader from another universe, and the Battleborn have to either come to, you know, die alone or live together is kind of their motto, right? They have to put aside old feuds and old differences, come together as a group and save the universe from these foes that seek to devour it. So, yeah, I mean, you have to bring them together. The story is about that. There's some ways you can play. You know, if you play one Battleborn enough, you're going to get their take on the story and their take on missions and all of that. But really the story of this first round of it is to tell how the group came together and how they're working together to save the universe. So you're playing a Battleborn, can you save the universe? That's the big question. We just love letting our imaginations run with the characters and see where we can go and all that. And I think you really get to feel some of the best that Gearbox has done with these characters in Battleborn.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to experiencing all the magic with all of the characters that are deep inside the world of Battleborn. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Mark your calendars, everybody. Battleborn comes out February 2016.
Don't go anywhere, because after the break, Melissa McCarthy is changing a lot of wigs and kicking some serious butt with the Blu-ray review of Spy.
Lock on coordinates 43.16547. Fire now.
All right, I'm Steve Shipkowski, Executive Audio Director for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which I'm currently working on. But today I'm here to just talk to you quickly about one of my favorite Star Wars moments in celebration of the upcoming film.
Yes, I bet you have.
Hand shot first. That's it, man. Love the Cantina Bar. Wish I could hang out there on a regular basis. I think I would have been like Norm on Cheers in the Cantina Bar. That would have been me, just sitting there and enjoying it. But hand definitely shot first. I'm out.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate your contribution, although I cannot pronounce your last name. It's a doozy.
I think his last name is Inbachi.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Only C-3PO can speak it. All right, listen, it's time for us to get all international, and not just because we're in beautiful Stockholm, but because we've got the international espionage of Spy.
I couldn't do what I do without you in my earpiece.
Head down the tunnel. You got 3 coming in. Can you imagine me as a spy?
With a gun.
What?
We missed Paul Feig's Spy when it hit theaters, but luckily it has come to home video, as movies always do, and it's out on Blu-ray.
Stop being adorable and get down. Lock on coordinates 43.16547. Fire now.
And I was excited to see this movie because we missed it, yes, you just said that, but it got so many great reviews.
I know.
And I was excited because, first of all, I've seen a lot of these movies now starring Melissa McCarthy, and they've let me down. And I know she's so much more than that. She's so much more than what these movies around her are allowing her to give.
Yeah.
And she is so rock solid. She's doing exactly what she's done in every other movie.
I was given specific instructions by Elaine to tailor these gadgets to you. These are not yours.
I love that they really played up the fact that Melissa McCarthy always seems to play the same roles. They give her, like, you know, the dumpy kind of, she can do nothing right, always falling over kind of thing. And they do play that up in the beginning.
Each of these are filled with chloroform.
Wow, that is an unsettling amount of hemorrhoid wipes.
Her agency keeps trying to give her that role.
In her cover stories,
in her cover stories. So I feel like that was a play on, you know, her career as an actress as well.
Sure.
And I love that. I love that it took things from real life and things that I think we all, as audience members who have been watching her for a while, can relate to and understand. So I feel like we're in on the joke with her.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that Paul created this world where we felt smart as audience members. We were along for the ride in this comedy that's really silly, but it just seems smart.
It seems smart, and it seems to be a message about judging a book by its cover, and also it's another showpiece. I mean, she's the headliner. Melissa McCarthy is the flat-out star of this movie.
To my mother, and to you.
And here's to you. I mean, you may never be as wise as an owl, but you'll always be a hoot to me.
What a stupid toast.
I had a great time with this movie, and the special features are a lot of fun if you want to add it to your Paul Feig collection.
There are a lot of special features. The deleted scenes aren't that great. The gag reel isn't that great either, but everything else, I love the behind-the-scenes stuff. I always love the behind-the-scenes stuff, so definitely worth it. I think we need to celebrate the fact that Melissa McCarthy is in a movie that I like. That's amazing. Go out and get this thing. What are you scoring Spy?
I love this thing. 8.5 for me.
Yeah, it gets a 9 from me.
Okay.
Spy is out now on Blu-ray and digital, of course, if you want to pick it up.
And now it's time for us to revisit the world of Republic. This is Camouflage's Kickstarted game, and it's coming to the PS4. Here's Jose.
Do you see me? Wait. Please, I need your help.
Well, it is finally the time where Republic decided to go a little gung-ho and now making its way to the consoles. For people out there who aren't familiar with Republic, give us a little background about what the game is.
So Republic is a third-person stealth action-adventure game that came out on iOS and Android, PC, and Mac. A mix of influences between Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, and a lot of 90s Metroidvania game. Very inspired by 32-bit Japanese games of like the late 90s.
Tell me, or I'll tell them.
It was such a big success on Kickstarter as well as on the devices that it came out on. Why the decision to bring it over to consoles?
Well, the decision to bring it over to console was like almost like a homecoming for us. Like I said, the influence of early like PS1, PS2 games was huge for us. So after the success of bringing the game to mobile, bringing the game to PC and Mac, we decided it was a great opportunity to finally bring the game over to console, and that's why we're so excited to finally have the game over on PS4.
What can people expect from Hope on the power of the PS4?
Well, among other things we've brought the upgrades that we made from the mobile to PC. We did a massive graphical overhaul. We brought it over from Unity 4 to Unity 5 and are making use of all these beautiful new graphical features. So those will all be present in the PS4 version of Republic. It'll also be playing in an entirely new way. Previously, players were sort of clicking around the world, sort of telling Hope what to do, like a real-time strategy game, right? With the power of PS4, we've now put Hope's life in the player's hands. Players are controlling her directly, making her decisions, moving around a lot more like a conventional stealth action game.
Sanchez.
Yes, madam.
Don't forget to give her the sodium thiopental injection.
Yes, madam.
So happy Republic is coming out for the PS4. It will be out early 2016. I'm so happy for Ryan and his team.
Another game that's made its way to the PS4 and Xbox One, of course, is Destiny the Taken King. We review that after the break.
There's a faint echo of light. This was a guardian once.
Welcome back to the Electric Playground. We are enjoying the sights and sounds of Stockholm, Sweden. It is so lovely here.
It's true, but you know what? I want to enjoy the sights and sounds of a couple of boys that I think are also beautiful.
Oh.
Here's Steve and Raju with The Taken King.
Okay.
Vengeance for Crota.
I put a lot of time into a lot of games over the year, played a lot of Fallout, played a lot of Skyrim. I've invested nearly 500 hours into Destiny. Today we are looking at a major expansion for Destiny. This is The Taken King. This is the third and by far the most significant downloadable add-on for Destiny, coming out on the 1-year anniversary of the game itself and introducing a whole new bunch of story stuff and a whole bunch of different places to go and things to shoot and enemies and loot. Now, you're not quite as immersed in Destiny as I am.
I'm a Destiny tourist that basically gets dragged in because somebody over here is a huge fan and we need to do this. So now I had to level up my guy because I gave up on Destiny a year ago. I always liked the mechanics, but I hated the loot stuff. And the thing is that Destiny is a game that truly rewards obsessives.
Yes, that is true. But I will say, with the release of The Taken King, Bungie has fixed a lot of the problems with Destiny. This has a story. It's about Oryx. He's this big bad alien. We've killed his son Crota, and he has come to the solar system to exact vengeance on the Guardians. He's parked his ship in the rings of Saturn, and he's grabbing up all the alien races and turning them into these dark, shadowy versions of themselves called Taken.
Yes. This is a much better game a year out. You know, they have changed a lot of the really super annoying things with it.
These bones are centuries old. There's a faint echo of light. This was a Guardian once. Ikora, I'm sorry we couldn't bring him back.
The fact that they are trying to tell something of a story,
I know,
you know,
I love it. There's characters, the interactions,
because there was just an emptiness, I think, when it first launched. And
I agree. No, I agree with all your criticisms of Destiny are spot on.
But they're trying, they're working it. So, Mr. Obsessive, you know, the one thing I want to know from you, because I don't care, but you know, you did loot hunt. I remember you being like, I gotta play this game because there's a new thing and I need to get it now. And now a lot of these new weapons really just sort of wipe stuff out.
The whole system's been revamped. Like, a lot of the old weapons are no longer useful, but there's new weapons that are even cooler with cooler perks. And there's 3 new subclasses. I play as a hunter, hunters for life. Filion is the hunter vanguard in the game. He's great. He's actually a major character all through The Taken King. His voice work is great. His character is great. So my new subclass is the Night Stalker with his awesome purple energy bow. But there's like new subclasses for the Warlock and the Titan. The Warlock can now like shoot lightning out of his hands. The Titan throws this crazy fiery Thor hammer. But there's like almost 6 hours of story content. There's like new multiplayer modes. There's a new raid that's just come out. If you're not already invested in Destiny, I don't think The Taken King is going to mean as much. But for someone like me who's been with the game for a year, who's been put a ton of time into it, there's a lot of friends who play, I'm just really happy about a lot of the content. A lot of cool new gear. The whole system leveling up has been simplified, so your numerical level just corresponds to experience. So I asked the guys at Bungie, why didn't you see these problems a year ago? And they said, frankly, it's just really hard to build a game of this complexity and this scope and know what players are going to do with it. I mean, there have been literally millions upon millions upon millions of player hours put into this game. It's not always evident what's going to work off the top. So better late than never. We've now got a really meaty expansion. It's $40. It's not a cheap expansion, but we got an expansion that's got story, it's got character, it's got new places to go, new things to do.
Got some humor.
It's got a lot of humor.
Got some humor as well. That was actually one of those things that really helped win me back.
Well, you know what side I'm landing on with Destiny, but I'm really curious what you thought of The Taken King.
I think this is much better. I think it's beautiful. It's technically amazing. 8.5 out of 10 for me.
We agree on that. 8.5 for The Taken King.
You're so right. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
So beautiful.
Great job, boys.
Don't go anywhere because after the break, we've got your Twitter question of the day.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Welcome back to EP Daily, everybody. It is time for our Twitter question of the day. This one is from Chris Bever at BeverProd. What's one game that you hit the wall on and regret never finishing? Mine's the first Super Mario Galaxy. Great question.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to keep it with the Mario theme. Although Galaxy is a good one to point out because I didn't finish that one either, but I always feel like I can go back to it because the console is still right there in my lineup of consoles.
Play it in pieces as well.
Yeah, totally. But I'm going to keep it with the Mario theme and go with Super Mario 64 because I never actually finished the game. I just kept getting booted out of that one last painting or mural on the wall and just get booted out, and then you just get frustrated and never go back to it. So I feel like that's got to be my one regret.
Well, we always have the new in our faces, right? What's next? What's new? What's next? And I think that's especially true for me. Mine are going to be, I have 3. Witcher 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
The Witcher games are so massive.
Yeah, but those, I feel like so many people don't finish those games.
They're so beautiful, and I always have such a good time. Even going back to the very first one, which was a bit clunky with the controls, it was just made with so much love. But I got to finish Witcher 3 first because it's just so tuned and awesome, and we didn't review it, so I didn't play too much of it. But it's sitting. I want to finish that
Christmas
soon.
break kind of game.
No, I'm going to try before then.
All right.
Good question, Chris. If you've got one for us or you want to get caught up on the show, go to epn.tv.
We've got more coming for you in the next episode of EP Daily, including a behind-the-scenes look at The Martian with Matt Damon.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
I'm your personal guide on this tour of the Hermes. We still rolling? This is pilot Rick Martinez doing the pre-flight checks. As you can see, he's using some pretty sophisticated math to get us to Mars. You got enough fingers there, Rick?
Just balancing my checkbook. Really hits you at like how serious something like this is, and we were talking before, but like every station, like this guy has a flight plan, she has all the numbers of the ship, and I'm actually operating the ship, and then I have a commander, and then there's 2 other people here helping out. So all that for one vessel. And you get to see that a lot of it is life and death.